Good morning, good afternoon, hello everyone. My name is Alex Martinez, also known as According to Alex here on YouTube. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things. First off, a second stimulus check update, what Trump is saying about the second stimulus update, which is very good news, a tax credit that people are mistakenly confusing for a stimulus check. It's not. The EIDL grant that shows you how to get a $1,000 of free stimulus money, and also timelines on when we should be hearing about new stimulus. Now, first off, let's talk about chances of stimulus getting a whole lot better. So up until last week, we felt that a lot of things weren't going so well, right? We didn't hear too much about stimulus. We know about the previous stimulus of $1,200 for every American, and also $500 for dependent. That passed a while ago in March, but now we're kind of left to dry and we're like, okay, what's happening next? Well, we have some new updates from our President Donald Trump. So President Donald Trump confirmed on Monday that there was going to be another round of stimulus, all right? There's going to be another round of payments. He was interviewed on Monday and gave confirmation on the second stimulus payment, but let's go over exactly what he said. He was asked by an interviewer if there was going to be a second stimulus check. He responded with, "We will be doing another stimulus package." Okay, he did not say check, but he said package. So what does this mean? Well, the only package that we've been hearing about that's been approved by the House of Representatives was the HEROES Act, which does give us a one-time $1,200 stimulus payment. Now, he also said it will be very good and it will be very generous, better than before. So what does this tell us? That maybe it's going to be a little higher than 1,200. Maybe it's going to be multiple payments. We just don't know yet. But the interviewer also asked him how much it would be. How much is the stimulus check going to be? He said, "You'll find out. You'll find out about it." Okay, that's fair. The reporter also asked when. He wants a timeline. He wanted to know when we would be receiving the stimulus payment. Well, Donald Trump said that in the next couple of weeks, there will be bipartisan support on whatever package we come up with. Now, that sounds good. But also take into consideration, if it's in the next few weeks that they vote on it, then really we won't be seeing anything until maybe closer to August. That's kind of like what we're looking at right now. And also stay tuned until the end if you want some of the most commonly asked questions about the stimulus payment, the second stimulus payment, answered. I will be answering those towards the end. Now let's talk about the EIDL for a second. Now, I have proof and confirmation that I got the EIDL grant. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically $1,000 of free stimulus money. It is for anybody who has a small business. That don't turn away yet, okay? Even if you just sell stuff, you might still qualify. If you sell things on eBay, Amazon, if you're a Lyft driver, if you're an Uber driver, if you're a 1099, basically if you do anything that you also do taxes for or pay taxes on anything, you most likely qualify. You can get up to $10,000 if you have 10 employees. So I made a separate video on that. If you want, you can check it out in the description. And if you don't believe me on the money, I will show a screenshot right now. You can see on my screen that on June 23rd, I got $1,000 from the SBA. Now, what did I do with this money? I immediately, and you can even see, I immediately opened up a Robinhood account and deposited that $1,000 to then trade for stocks. Now, if you are also interested in stocks like me, I'm just a beginner, but I wanted to do something and I got into Robinhood, and I also have a referral link in the description. So check out the link in the description and you will get a free stock if you sign up using my link. So now let's talk about some stuff that is going on in the White House that Congress representatives are saying in the White House. So conservative officials from the White House are stating that they do not approve of a second stimulus payment. And they're saying it's because most Americans just pocketed the first one. They didn't actually spend it. Now, they said that there was a surge in more savings account during the payout of the first stimulus check, and that they argue that the best course of action would be to get people working again. Now, it's a great idea to get people working again, but I don't think they understand how difficult it is to get a job back once you lose it or once your employer goes out of business. Right now, a lot of businesses are struggling and they're reopening, which is great, but they're not reopening at full capacity. So maybe they needed 15 employees when you worked there and now they only need 5. So your job is going to be lost and you're going to be on unemployment. That's just what it is. And you need the support of another stimulus check. They need to understand that. Now, Senator Mitt Romney also said that he opposes another stimulus check. So he says that instead of another stimulus check, we should adjust the PPP program, the Payment Protection Program for small businesses, as well as extend the unemployment, which I'm not against, that's a great idea. But he also says to lower the level of unemployment, which again isn't such a bad idea, but completely taking it away would be a very bad choice. When the time comes around of July 31st, more than 20 million Americans are going to be out of a job still, and if you cut off unemployment, they're going to lose their only source of income. So I do not think it's a great idea to take it out completely. Now let's talk about some other senators such as Thomas Tillis and Rob Portman. I think that's how you say their name. They want to target smaller groups in stimulus. So they want people that are more hurt by what's happening right now to be targeted and to receive a direct payment instead of everyone. But to really define those type of people, I think is going to be extremely difficult. And I would argue that everyone's struggling. So I think that everyone should get it just because everyone is almost in the same boat, really. Now, they also are talking about when the stimulus does get approved and the package goes through, they're talking about maybe forcing people to spend the money. So we know that in the beginning, everyone got a stimulus check, or almost everyone, I should say, and most people were not spending it. So to fix this, you have to spend it within a certain amount of time. I'm not saying they're gonna do this, but they're considering it. They're considering saying, hey, you need to spend the entire stimulus within the first month or you lose it. You either spend it or you lose it. And I think this is fine as long as they use it, as long as you're able to use it for expenses that you need, such as your mortgage, such as electricity, such as utilities, other utilities like that, such as food. If you can use it for those type of items, then it doesn't really matter because that's what people need it for anyways. Now, a lot of you might have heard or seen people talking about $4,000 stimulus. There is no such thing as a $4,000 stimulus. What there is a $4,000 tax credit proposed, or not proposed, but supported by President Donald Trump. It's called the Explore America tax credit. So here's what you need to know about this $4,000 tax credit. It's a tax credit that's worth 50% of qualified travel expenses that you incur between the date it's enacted, so the date it's signed, up until December 31st, 2021. So what qualified expenses does it cover? It covers like travel, it covers food, it covers entertainment, stuff like that. And it'll give you up to $4,000. But to get those $4,000, you need to spend $8,000. So I don't get it. Like, who benefits from this besides the people who have disposable income? So they give you half of whatever you spend, which, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. Let's say I was going to spend $1,000 anyways in going to the movies, going to the beach, going out to eat, and going out to eat again because I'm fat. So let's say I was gonna spend money anyways. Okay, well, they're gonna give me 50% back. So they're gonna give me $500 back, which is great anyways. But unless you were actually gonna spend the money, this isn't free money. This isn't really helping you unless you spend money. Now let's go over some of the stimulus questions and second stimulus check questions that people have been having. First one, is there a second stimulus check yet? No, the answer is no. It's still just a bunch of talk. But we have more and more possibilities of it going through. But no, there's nothing definite. Yes, the only definite thing we do have is the CARES Act, which most people already received their $1,200 and their $500 for dependents. Will there be a second stimulus check? I sure hope so. It is looking very, very likely, and I think there will be a second stimulus check now that Donald Trump has also confirmed it. But even if he confirms it, let's take into account that the bill, whatever it may be, has to pass the House, has to pass the Senate, and has to get his signature. So we know he won't be a problem, but the Senate is being a problem. Now, will there be a $2,000 stimulus check? There are a few videos going around about $2,000 stimulus checks. It's not really getting a lot of traction. Not a lot of people are, talking about it anymore, but maybe. Donald Trump did say that there are going to be something more generous, something better. So maybe he's referring to a $2,000 stimulus. How much is the second stimulus check? We don't know yet, but What we do know is that the HEROES Act says it's going to be $1,200, and we have other proposals that say it's going to be anywhere from $2,000, reoccurring $2,000, reoccurring $1,000. So we have no idea, but it's going to be somewhere in that range. When will the second stimulus check happen? Well, Donald Trump did say that we are going to be looking at some new updates in the next upcoming weeks. So I would say the next stimulus check could pass before the end of August recess for the senators. Who would get a second stimulus check is the next question. Well, if you already got a stimulus check the first time, you're most likely going to get it the second time as long as you make under $99,000 a year as a single person or less than $198,000 a year as a married couple. Now, will Social Security recipients get a second stimulus check? I believe so. If you got it the first time, then SSI and SSDI recipients that got it under the CARES Act will also get it under a new bill as well. So the final question is, will college students get a second stimulus check? I hope the answer is yes, because they really need it. Now, we know from the first CARES Act, if you were older than 16 years of age, you were not qualified as a dependent. Well, at least not to receive a stimulus check. So your parents didn't receive a $500 boost for claiming you as a dependent if you were in college, nor did you receive anything because you were claimed as a dependent. So you got screwed either way. Your parents didn't get anything and you didn't get anything. So I hope they fix this because in the HEROES Act, they are fixing this issue. So I hope in whatever bill the HEROES Act becomes or whatever bill does get introduced, that this is also taken care of because college students need money as well. So thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for new updates and stuff like that. I hope you guys all have a great day and I'll see you next time.